There you pressed the button.
Now we're live.
Perfect. Whoops. So, for anyone new here to my channel and or these reading sprints and or Femathon, somewhere around me, I have Kayla from, oh my god, why do I have to have a brain fart while I'm introducing people?
The Reading Cloud.
Thank you. And I also have Faye from Books and Chocoholic. So we'll just pretend that I remember things and it'll be great.
Okay.
Okay.
You posted it on Twitter, right? I'll just retweet it if I can find it.
I think so. It should be on Femathon and mine. Hopefully. I hope I did this all right. This is my first time I've ever hosted anything, and I don't know why I'm inherently more nervous about this than I was about joining the other live streams that we've already done.
It is more nerve-wracking for some reason to host one than it is to participate in one, and I'm not sure why. Because you're doing exactly the same thing, literally, apart from clicking more buttons, maybe.
Yeah, it's like two more buttons. I even practiced ahead of time to make sure I had my 30-minute timer up on the other screen and could share screen. I'm like, okay.
Aw, that's cute. I like that.
I love that she's actually done that because, as you guys know, I did not, and then had no idea what on earth I was doing, and Kayla did it for me.
I mean, I kind of got a warning ahead of time because we'd already practiced.
Yeah.
Everyone learning from my mistakes. Yes.
We love learning.
That's what friends are for, right?
I'll mess up so you don't have to.
No. It's okay. I forget everyone's names and channel names and everything. But they should all be linked in the description of this video. I think I linked back to the original announcement blog post where everybody's stuff should be.
Fair enough.
Fun times. So, what are we reading and or productivity timing?
I'm writing reviews for literally everything I've read so far this month.
Excellent.
Nice. Hi, Monique.
Hi, Monique.
I'm trying to remember to also man the comments section and, like, not just have it open to private chat like I did on the previous two.
Yeah, no, I'm really bad with that.
So, we have writing all the things and...
Right now I want coffee and we'll figure it out after. I didn't change my name, though. I didn't change my name on the thing, so, like, I have the book. That counts, right?
Yeah, totally. I mean, you have to have the coffee first for your brain to work in order to have the book, right?
Especially with the Poppy War.
Also, thanks, Monique.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with
I'm
Poppy
so
War.
close to finishing, too, because it's like, I think I have about 75 pages left.
Nice.
And, like, it's intense. Oh, my gosh.
I don't know if it's just, like, this week.
And I, like, marked the page where they mentioned hypermobility, so.
Nice. I've seen the Poppy War come up on my timeline now, like, 3 or 4 times this week, so I'm like, okay, this is just a sign that I need to get on that already.
I see the Poppy War come up on my timeline 3 or 4 times every week. Like, it's always on my timeline.
It's always there.
I can't escape the Poppy War. It's basically just teasing me at this point because literally I've wanted it since the first book was released. And this is one of those times where it really tests me as a binge reader. I prefer binge reading. I find it more enjoyable. But there are certain series where I'm like, why? Why do I have to be a binge reader?
Same. That's what I'm doing with the Skyward series by Brandon Sanderson right now. I'm like, okay, when's the next book? Brandon, no, don't put it on the back shelf. Pull it back to the front shelf. Don't put it off here.
I've still yet to read a Brandon Sanderson that I've enjoyed, so.
Oh man, that's
Sorry, what?
I said he puts so much time and effort into all of his worlds. So, like, I understand why things get back shelved sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
And he's got, like, 7,000 series on the go at the same time as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We have no chill.
Not gonna lie, that's true. That is 100% true.
That's like, I respect that. That's intense. Like,
And he teaches at a university.
Does he?
He teaches at a university. Yeah.
I thought he just did spontaneous lectures.
I don't know which university. Okay, I could have sworn he taught there, but you could be correct.
I think he used to teach there, and then since he's become a writer, he'd now just like audits and does like spontaneous lectures.
nice.
You could be right. Like, he has an entire series on like YouTube, and I know he has like his own class and everything.
Yeah. But yeah, I think they're like extra bits and pieces.
Okay.
Ship of Magic, yes! Yes!
That's Robin Hobb,
Yes.
right?
Of course it. If I'm making
I
this
was going to
voice,
say-
yes, it is a Robin Hobb book.
Tell me about it, because I don't know that one off the top of my head.
Ship of Magic is the first book in the Live Ship Traders series, so it's the one where you are first introduced to Althea and Kennet and everyone in Bingtown. So yeah, you have Althea is the daughter of the owner of a live ship, and a live ship is supposed to quicken when you
Come on,
three
internet,
generations.
work.
Sorry, what? I don't know if it's
Well,
my internet funking up or yours.
I think Kayla's frozen again. It's happened once before.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love how I question my internet so much to the point where I'm like, I don't know if it's mine or hers.
That's what I was doing earlier too. And then I'm like, okay, we've got 3 people. If 2 out of the 3 got it, then we'll figure it out. And
Yeah,
then
I suppose. At least we're not on our Larry at any point, just having to talk to ourselves.
I'm like, how do I monologue?
Have you read any Robin Hobb then?
I don't think so. I keep hearing Robin Hobb's name, but I haven't picked up any of their books yet.
Robin
I don't-
Hobb is what got me into epic adult fantasy. I mean,
Ooh.
like, I read Lord of the Rings, but I do consider that more classic fantasy now than, like, at the same... It's not like modern adult fantasy, you know, it is much
They're
more
very
vanilla.
different flavors.
No, I absolutely love it, but it's got much more of a whimsical and fairy tale vibe than most new fantasies have got. So Robin Hobb's what got me into a more kind of contemporary adult epic fantasy.
Well, I definitely need to get on that then. Now Kayla's back.
Kayla's back! You were missed.
Yeah.
Yes.
My internet's mad at me right now. I don't know why.
It's mad because you haven't also given it coffee.
This is true. You need to share the love and share the
I
coffee.
know coffee. Thank you. I'm gonna actually go get that right now.
Yay.
Don't forget the coffee.
Never forget the coffee. Or the tea or whatever beverage of choice.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't actually drink coffee, but you know, I know that it is essential to most people's well-being.
I have to be careful about when I have it because I have some days where it's fine if I have that much caffeine. And there are other days where it's like, no, bad idea.
Ouch. Yeah, no, I just don't particularly like it. If I do have it, I end up having like a mocha latte or, you know, one of these, like, it's not actually tasting of coffee anymore.
Yep.
It's like, then when I have a like mocha latte that's heavy on the mocha, I'm just like, I'm just ruining a good hot chocolate, really.
Uh-huh. I'm like, basically, when I have coffee, it's a way to deliver cream to my face without making me feel bad.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, not big on the coffee. I'm very British. I really like my tea, and I'm very Southern European, and I like all of my infusions.
I have many, many teas, and I'm afraid that, like, on my card, I normally keep, like, a teapot right here, but I was afraid that if I got my pot out, it would just be, like, teapot, and then nothing else on the screen. I was like, I'll save that for a different time.
I have
Well,
a
after
coffee
history,
pot
I'm going
that I
to-
use as a teapot because I like that it's see-through.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that says about me as a person.
I mean, I have a clear teapot just for looking at the pretty lefts.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like spouts either. They're so awkward to clean. Like coffee ones, they've just got that little dip, right, to make it easy to pour. I hate like a proper spout because they're just awful to clean. They always look grimy after like 3 uses. So yeah, just
thing that
I love the look of a proper teapot. Don't like spouts in terms of usage.
The other thing that's nice about a coffee pot is that generally the lid mechanism is attached to the handle, so you can just boop and be done with it.
But also, you've not got a loose lid, so when you get into that last bit, you don't have to like hold it on like you do with the ceramic teapot. Not that I'm saying I'm clumsy.
I cannot tell you how many times I've almost dumped the lid off of my teapot before remembering at the last second and then almost spilling tea everywhere.
At least you remember, to be fair. It could be worse.
True.
What about you, Kayla? What is your stance on coffee pots versus teapots with spouts?
What?
We were just talking about how it's nice with coffee pots are easier to clean the lip of the spout on because it's just that little thing instead of it being a whole spout having to get in there and whatnot.
And then it's awkward to clean.
It is very awkward to clean the tea one, but you just get one of those like string sponges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about buying extra cleaning utensils for a teapot.
But it's tea.
Yeah, I have tea in a coffee pot because I'm a heathen.
That is blasphemy. You can't do that.
It's see-through, and then I can see what I'm drinking and how much of it as well.
But it's tea. You don't need to know.
Wait, do you have like British breakfast tea, like with milk in it and stuff, or do you have like infusions, or both?
I take it mostly British style.
Fair enough. Wait,
but I don't use milk anymore because I don't drink. But
oh yeah, when you did drink milk, did you put it in the teapot or afterwards?
You don't put milk in a teapot? What is wrong with you?
I have seen people put milk in a teapot because Spanish people do not know how to make English tea.
Apparently.
I've also seen them serve a cup of warm milk and put a tea bag in it. Sorry, I don't know why I found it that funny, but it was just fucking awful. My mum ordered one and she was like, I want an English breakfast tea, and they were like, what's that? And she was like, okay, so it's like a tea, like a black tea, and then separately you have milk. And for some reason they interpreted that as put tea bag in milk. It looked
like the tea equivalent of a cappuccino at that point.
My mum doesn't drink coffee. I was just like, you have no hope in this country. Don't drink coffee, and that's the tea you're getting given. You're fucked, basically.
Oh my.
It's like when you try to get a sweet tea in other countries, they're like, oh, here's a hot beverage, and it's like, that's not what sweet tea is.
Not what sweet tea. No, see, like, I also, like, I've moved around a lot. It was really weird because I was born in New Hampshire, but then we also moved to, like, the tri-state area of Kentucky, Tennessee, and Virginia, which is, like, the South. It's, like, action South. And, like, so I moved there, and they're like, damn Yankee, get out. And I'm like, but I know how to make tea.
That's the important thing.
Sweet tea because my family's also from here.
See, I just adapted. I was like, okay, the Spanish, they drink loads of tila, loads of chamomile tea. I was like, yep, I'm out of those. I'm not going to even bother attempting ordering an English breakfast tea over here. Now, none of the rest of my family have done that. I mean, most of them drink coffee, but the ones that don't drink coffee, they just have to kind of pray that the waiter has understood what they are asking for, as the waiter looks incredibly puzzled at them, like, what are you asking me?
They're probably just like, foreigners.
Basically. And then I'm just over here with my super, like, really slang Andalusian accent, like, una manzanilla. And they're like, why is she sounding Spanish when all these other people sound English? And I confuse them just as much. It's fantastic.
Yes.
Until I watched when I watched this morning, I was like, oh, I almost forgot what Castilian Spanish sounded like, because I'm used to the Middle and South American variants of what I hear typically and what I had to practice. Like, I learned both, but like I never hear it anymore. And I'm like, oh, that's what that sounds like again.
Yeah, I mean, I really like South American accents. I struggle with Central American accents. They're like too drawn out on the vowels for me. You know how everyone, like, even within English, you have accents that you're like, I don't really like the sound of that one. Like, just the Mexican and like North Bolivian kind of accent for me, they're just too, I don't know, too drawn out on the vowels, like I said. So I struggle with them. And then every now and then I'll hear a Mexican accent that's really nice, and I'm like, oh, hello. Because it surprises me that it can sound that nice when it, like, depending on the like accents and dialect and stuff, depending on where it's from.
Mm-hmm. It's like me trying to learn Portuguese, but trying to get Portugal Portuguese over here is virtually non-existent, because everybody's like,
I see you get Brazilian, right?
You want Brazilian Portuguese. I'm like, no, I'm trying to move back to the motherland.
But like Portuguese and Brazilian Portuguese are really different as well. Like
Incredibly.
South American and Central American Spanish are not that far removed. It's like American and English, you know, there's like accent things and then certain words, you know. But Brazilian Portuguese and Portuguese are actually quite different.
Like, from what I've heard, if you speak Brazilian Portuguese and you go to Portugal, they'll be able to understand you, but you won't really be able to understand them. I'm like,
sounds about right.
As a Brazilian Portuguese speaker, because
I think it's because they have a better either cinema or music scene in Brazil that gets played in Portugal, but not the other way around.
Huh. I did not know this.
So you know how like American stuff gets played in the UK all the time, but you guys watch like 3 of the shows that we put out per year. Yeah. It's kind of
on the BBC.
A thing. On the BBC, just
pretty much.
You know, like literally for the next however many years that it's coming out, you're just getting His Dark Materials, and that's all you get in the UK, right? Now that Game of Thrones is on, His Dark Materials, then you'll get something to replace that in a couple of years, and there you go.
Yeah, the next reboot of Downton Abbey or whatever.
Don't you dare diss Downton Abbey. I'll disown you.
I'm not. I actually do really need to do it. I'm like, they have an all-star cast on that one. I need to see that.
I love Downton Abbey. I 99% of my watching of Downton Abbey, though, I'm not going to lie, is just Maggie Smith.
Nice.
She just has the perfect level of sass in that show.
I know. It's just perfect. It's like Maggie Smith at her best. And that's saying something because it's Maggie fucking Smith.
Right.
Oh, goodness. Well, I don't know how
I feel like at some point we should
right.
technically read or whatever it is that we're planning on doing it at some point today.
That would probably be good. I think it's just going to
productivity sprints where we are not productive.
Yeah. So if anybody else tries to join in on the thing, boop me, I guess, because I'm watching the live comments and not the private chat. But other than that, I guess I'll try to share screen and start the timer.
Excellent.
I'm
just gonna drink my coffee.
Half an hour for coffee drinking. That's dedication.
Yes.
Oh, it's not going to take that long to finish this, let's be honest.
All right. Catch you in half hour, guys.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So how'd it go?
Not too bad. Got 3 reviews done.
Oh, wow. You're a powerhouse, man.
I'm just determined that Faye is the powerhouse. She reads all the books, she writes all the reviews, she does all the child-minding things because motherhood is something.
Yeah.
My husband does more of the child-minding stuff than I do.
Nice.
Mm.
Like, you just do all the things.
I want to be Faye when I grow up.
Right?
I want to grow up. I'm not sure what adult Faye would be like, because I definitely don't consider myself an adult yet.
Oh, no?
No.
Fun.
I mean, technically, what is it? You become an adult when you start making your own doctor's appointments. So technically, I am an adult. But.
Oh, good.
In that.
I don't make my own dentist appointments, though. Dentists freak me out. My husband makes those.
Nice.
What about you guys? What did we get on with?
I found out that I am inadvertently reading The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue on Addie LaRue's birthday, which is March 10th.
Oh, that's cool.
I know, right? I was like,
Cool.
oh, that's a fun tidbit.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to see where this goes because it's one of those things where I'm either going to really like it or I'm going to be really peeved because it's like right now I'm kind of in more of a high fantasy mood where I want something that is of great depth and substance. And we're kind of getting magical realism meets fairy tale folklore right now in this one. But the intro to the book had me from the first page because it sounded interesting, and now I'm hoping that I like the rest of it.
Yeah.
Do you like V. Schwab's writing, Kayla?
Depends on the book, honestly. I really liked A Darker Shade of Magic, but when it came to the Monsters of Verity series, I couldn't even finish the first book. I was just like, this is awful.
Wow. See, that's where I'm really put off because I wasn't the biggest fan of Dark Shade of Magic. I didn't dislike them. Like Mistborn. Like the issue you and me had with Mistborn. Well, actually, you didn't like Mistborn. But like, you know how I was with Mistborn where it's like literally like, it's cool, but I don't get the hype. Like, it's all right. You know?
Yeah.
Like that's how I felt about A Darker Shade of Magic. And I have literally found out that it's because I don't like that archetype because Vin reminds me of Delilah Bard.
Oh, okay. I can't
stand that type of girl. I don't like those kind of girls because they are like literally the most.
Better than Vin, though.
I don't like her. No, I don't like girls that need to tread on other girls to make themselves feel tougher.
Yeah, I don't like that trope. It's not a great one.
Because the thing is it's harmful because it pretends that it's feminist.
Mm-hmm.
When it's really not. It's hugely misogynistic because it's literally you have to act like a boy and look down on all other girls to be tough. But somehow, because you've got these really kick-ass girls, it looks feminist somehow. And I can't stand that trope. I mean, I might be reading too much into it. You know what I'm like. But yeah, it really irks me and it rubs me up the wrong way. Like when you had Vin dissing all of the girls that were in like these like really pretty dresses and stuff. And then she goes, you know, and completely underestimates them and their abilities. And they're like, I feel like Delilah's kind of the same. Like she just looks down on all other girls. And it's just like, dude, why?
I think it's a way to make them seem complex without actually making them complex characters.
Yeah. Because literally all I can think
without actually putting the effort in.
Yeah, exactly. The only thing I can associate with those characters is literally the not like other girls trope. Like, that's literally all that they are to me. They are just the archetype of not like other girls. And literally any books that have that kind of girl in it, just for some reason, instantly the book goes down at least 1 star. Especially if she's a POV. Like, in both of those cases, you get her POVs. Which is a shame.
I think that's why the one character from the Court of Thorns and Roses series, Nesta, she's so incredibly unlikable, and that's what I love about her. Like, she's not one of those, like, Mary Sue type characters, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
She's horribly unlikable, and you don't really root for her all the time. And it's like, yes, a complex character that doesn't need to be liked. Thank you.
And the thing is that at no point do I feel like she's portrayed as, like, a good person. You know, it's not like, she's a dickhead, but we'll let it slide because she's the protagonist, like with Delilah or like with Vin. Like, I feel like you are supposed to have mixed feelings about her. You're supposed to care about her because you know everything she's been through, but at the same time, you're like, dude, you're an asshole.
I'm like, I'm okay with that. I like that.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's got way more layers to it than just, not particularly likable person, but can you root for them, please? Like, there's actually work put into it. So I don't know. And the other problem I have with V. Schwab's writing is that I always really like her concepts, and they always feel like they're going to be like really innovative and really creepy. And then I'm never just fully satisfied. Again, similar to Mistborn, where it's like loads of cool ideas, and then the execution was like, oh, all right.
So what I'm gathering is I need to get around to reading Mistborn and then see if I have the why aren't you giving me more feels.
Well, but if you like A Darker Shade of Magic, then you might actually, to be fair, like look, A Shade of Magic and can't stand Mistborn, so I'm just drawing random parallels. But
Oh, goodness.
I don't know.
I think a really cool book concept that actually does it super well would be Orcs and Crake by Margaret Atwood.
I'm trying to get into Margaret Atwood. I do own The Handmaid's Tale now. That's as close as I'm getting.
Her stuff is like difficult, and she doesn't like throw punches. It's like right in your face, like right away with everything she does. And I get why that can definitely be off-putting. But like once you get through it, you're just like, wow, she put a lot of time and effort and complexity into every piece of her writing.
I really need to start reading her stuff, because that sounds like it's really similar to Dune by Frank Herbert in that regard. He just throws you straight into his world. Things are happening. You have no idea what the world or the things happening are, but you just like pick up. And then it's like later when you do the rereads, you can see how much work was put into it. And like, I like that style of book because they have a lot of rereadability, which then like makes me feel really satisfied when I've spent money on a book like that, because I get so much out of it with the repeat reads.
Yeah.
So I really need to get on Margaret Atwood already.
I quite like getting dumped into a story though. I'm all right with fumbling around blind for a bit. I don't mind info dumps. Don't get me wrong. If it's going to be like a, freaking 10-book series, I don't mind an info dump here or there. But I also quite like just flailing around blind for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like N.K. Jemisin does that quite well, where you just, here you go, have a story. It's like, okay, what's happening?
Where am I? What's happening? Who are you? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've found that those are the books that I go to reread over and over, because I have to then back up and go, ooh, now that I know what's happening, I wonder what I'll actually pick up on this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we go for another round? Have we talked about all the books now?
No, Kayla hasn't mentioned if she's read anything.
I did not.
Was the coffee good?
Gal.
Yes, and it's getting cold, so I'm going to make another one.
You didn't drink it? You had half an hour to drink it, woman! What were you doing?
No, actually, I was, I was actually doing something. I just wasn't reading. I was working on one of my stories.
Oh, all right, then I'll let you off.
I was like, fixing it.
How do you not drink a coffee in half an hour? It's like, nope, too much coffee.
I tried. It's fine. There was an attempt.
Just mental image of you having like a tankard of coffee to drink or something. It's like, nope, half an hour, just go do it, boys.
God, I didn't come here to be harassed.
Yes, you did. You're on a live with me, Kayla. Come on.
I came here willingly. No, I didn't.
Yes. You know what I'm like, Kayla. You know what I'm like. We talk almost daily. You're used to me by now. Don't pretend you're not.
I keep waiting for someone to like comment something like, blink twice if you're being held captive.
All right, Kayla. Blink twice if you're being held captive. This got really weird real quick.
Yeah.
I think I can only do like another 15 minutes, to be fair, guys. So if you are doing another 15-minute one, so I can get the last 2 of my reviews done, cool. But I can't do like a whole half hour, especially if we're going to talk afterwards.
Sure, I can set it to 15. If that's
cool.
Good. Yeah, I think.
It will not take me 15 minutes to make a coffee.
But it will to drink it.
It'll take longer than that.
Right.
See you later, Kayla. See you later, Kayla's coffee.
All right.
Hey!
Hello.
So how did we do?
I got another 2 chapters done, and it's got a, I don't know if ethereal is the right word, but no one can remember that this girl exists, and she's going through life and doing things. I'm like, this is an interesting concept.
I do have to hand that to Vishwab. She's normally got pretty good concepts.
Yeah.
That's why I always pick up her books, even though every time I'm like, oh, I don't really like her writing style, but I'll try this one because it sounds interesting. And then
Have
I'm
you
always
tried
like,
the Near
all right.
Witch?
I hated the New Witch.
Well, never mind.
I absolutely hated the New Witch.
Oh.
I didn't DNF it because the audiobook was so short.
Yeah.
Or else I'd DNF'd it. And it worked for a prompt for a readathon. And I was like, fuck it, I'll read it, why not? But literally, if I was having to plow through it physically or whatever, I wouldn't have done it. I listened to it on 3 times speed.
3 times speed is always a fun hack.
Is that even like reading it? If that is that fast? How do you pick up anything?
I could process that.
It depends on the narrator too, because some narrators read way slower than others.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand the narrator actually either. She was one of those typical YA audiobook narrators that always sounds ever so slightly like she's on the brink of crying and orgasming at the same time.
I've never checked out the audiobook, but now I have to.
Do you know what I mean though? Do you know what I mean by like YA audiobook narrators? Right, where they always sound just so angsty. And it's like, fuck, dude, you got up in the morning, calm down.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but I need to find an audiobook like this.
If you want one like that, what is it? The Rinchi Pecco one. Bone Witch. That's another one where she sounds ever so slightly like she's on the brink of crying and orgasming.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay.
It's a trope. It is a thing. It literally put me off wanting to listen to YA
I believe
audiobooks.
you. I'm just confused. Why?
I don't know. I think it's to try and create like angst or something. But it sounds
Well,
more
then-
pornographic than anything else.
Then write the book better?
It's just really disturbing. I don't know. It's really disturbing. I don't know why they do it. And it's just weird. I mean, in Talon, the Julie Kagawa ones, because it's got 3 narrators. The girl narrator is slightly like that, but it was bearable. Also, I did have her on 2 times speed, so she did sound slightly like she was on helium, but it was bearable. But
Yeah.
the rest of them, like just the Bone Witch, I just couldn't continue. I literally DNF'd it. Like I was liking the story, but I just could not handle the narrator. It's like I can't listen to this anymore. So yeah.
I'm currently listening to Elantris on 2.55 times speed.
Do they sound like they're orgasming or on helium?
Closer to on
Oh,
helium,
neither.
but it's a male narrator, and like he gives some feeling to the voices, but not a whole lot. Like he's definitely not my favorite narrator. So like it started to feel kind of dry, and then I was like, okay, let me just make it go zoom and see if it feels less dry, and that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Yeah, I wish I could have done that with my Malazan ones, but I had a digitalized version of the CDs because my uncle had the CDs, and then the CDs started getting scratched, so he got them digitalized.
Yep.
So I had a digitalized version of the CDs. So no 2 times speed option. And I mean, the thing with Malazan, right, is that it's one of those where you need to focus on everything, and at the same time, the audiobook was like super slow and dry. And it's like, I'm dying here. Like 40 hours worth of this audiobook.
Oh.
Yeah, no, if I ever pick that series back up again, it would definitely have to be physical, and it's going to have to be one that I'll annotate. And you know how much I hate annotating books, but fucking hell, because he does not give you anything. He does not give you any information. He just expects you to remember what happened 2 books ago. But again, these are chunky books. They're like 600-700 page books. Oh, do you remember what happened, when you were 7 from how long you've been reading this book? Yeah. There you go. It's like,
Yeah, totally.
I was reading them back to back. I don't know. I don't know how people who waited for them to come out like 1 year at a time, or people who leave a gap between them, have any fucking clue what's going on.
I don't know, man.
I don't know how I ended up talking about Malazan. Auditing audiobook narrators. I do audiobook narrators, full disclaimer. Just some of them sound a bit on the pornographic side, and that's okay, I suppose.
I love how our tangents have gone from Coffee Pot is best teapot to pornographic audiobook narrators.
Well,
But
what else can you do with a Wednesday night?
But are the erotica books, do they have good narrators?
Oh, that's the point. Erotica books
These are the
should have
questions.
the really dry, high fantasy narrators.
Yes.
Sarah J. Maas, but narrated by old white guy.
That
It always
match-
sound a little bit like this, and pause in very awkward moments in the sentence. I don't know why.
Oh my gosh. I love it. I love these tangents. So how did your coffee go or your project?
Coffee's good. My first thought when we got off the timer there was, how does Faye have so much fucking energy? It's only 5 here, and it's got to be like almost 12 there, and I'm like, where do you get the energy?
It's actually only almost 11, to be fair. I'm a good girl. But I've also had 3 biscuits, and that makes all the difference.
The sugar high.
This is my second coffee. Why?
I'm having
Because
0.00000 Coke as well. Like I'm having I'm having brown water that is pretending to be Coke at this point
All
because
I
it's so
see
zero.
is sparkly and gold, and I am intrigued.
Oh, no, that's just the cup. It's my Minnie Mouse cup.
Gotcha.
It's just got glitter in it. I don't drink glitter.
Oh, good.
I feel like that's not great for your immune system.
Probably not. But
Yeah.
shiny.
I'm technically going to go play Borderlands now.
Fun.
Okay.
Well, I think that's where we're going to leave it for the day, I guess, unless you stay on for a while. Because I've got other reviews and crap to do, and I'm like, but how do I do them when I'm hosting it on this? And then it would just be me doing this the entire time. I'm like, that's not a good look.
So I've got my phone hooked to my computer. Look, you guys are attached to my Goodreads. Hack.
Ah. See, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I write everything by hand first, so it's
Same.
easier for me to do it afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got my handy dandy Stitch notebook for all my reviews.
I think I have what do I have now? Oh yeah, I have a tree. Isn't it cute?
That's very cute.
It is.
Dollar
I'm so
stores
sure
are
I did
fucking
my
bonkers.
Disney stuff. All of mine is Disney. Everything I have is Disney. I have Stitch stuff out the wazoo, and then Minnie Mouse stuff everywhere. You think I'm a child. Oh, and Winnie the Pooh stuff everywhere. Obviously. Essential Winnie the Pooh stuff.
Of course.
Very.
Of course.
I still reread Winnie the Pooh almost every year.
Aw,
I get to read them to my children and confuse the fuck out of them because the language in those books is weird.
Yeah.
I love them. They are weirdly written. My husband's like, what the fuck's going on? He didn't read them as a kid, so he's like, what the fuck is going on in this book? It's like a little tiny pamphlet of a book. Also, Beatrix Potter is another one that's really weird. Wait, do you guys have Beatrix Potter over there?
I did.
Okay.
I don't know who that is.
Peter Rabbit. She wrote Peter
Oh,
Rabbit.
okay, yeah, that is. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Hers are also really weird. She uses really random language for kids, like soporific. That's a
I don't
thing
even know what that
in a
means.
children's book. It means it makes you fall asleep.
Well, why can't you just say that like sleepy?
Yeah, would be helpful in a book that is aimed at children.
Yes.
But no, soporific. Most people can't even enunciate it.
I'm sure I can't. I can barely enunciate like my own name, so. You me.
Yeah, my nan trying to read those books to me when I was a kid was fantastic. She struggles to like with any of those kind of words. Like she can't say phenomenon. Like she's a phenomenon. She also, instead of saying synchronized swimming, says sequenized swimming, and I just think that's a much better word. And it should just forever be called sequenized swimming.
Yes.
Just swimming in sequins.
I would enjoy that so much. I'm just imagining that now, and I'm like, all of the sequins everywhere.
Yep.
It's on your outfit. It's in the pool. It's glorious.
As long as it don't go in your mouth or hair, I suppose.
True. Well,
I'm going to go now. This is getting weird.
I was going to say, on that note, bye.
That's the weirdest thing you've talked about today. You're fine.
Yeah, it's true. I'm sure the good people at home are used to us by now.
Mm-hmm. They live with us willingly, so.
Wow. Thanks for having me, Victoria.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming, and thank you for the fun focusing time.
Yes.
Surrounded by random. Bye.
Okay.